get those negative emotions. Because this speech is not to give a talk about dealing with negativity. Rather, it's to find ways to take that negativity that you'll face as you go out in this transition, and I want you to find a way to leverage that negativity into positivity. Because ultimately, I think you guys have to think about optimism, because we are right at the cusp of you guys going into the next phase of your life where you're going to be faced with lots of challenges. And what you do is going to impact civilization and society as a whole. And I want to be clear about a couple of things here. I'm an architect where what I envision happens, but it's over several years. And as President Levy can attest to, those initiatives to, say, build a building, such as the Student Life Center or the Image Arts Center, all those initiatives take multiple years to do. And better yet, to actually meet the real vision, it takes 5, 10, maybe even more years than I would even live to see. And as a result, I think it's important that you guys kind of see an optimistic approach with everything. So with that optimism caveat, let me delve into the negatives that you'll face. Now, a lot of people would like to claim that we are giving you the best of the world. But unfortunately, the reality is not the case. We are giving you, and when I say we, I mean not the faculty here, but our generation, my generation, your parents' generation, we're giving you a world of great imbalance, one that is stuck with imbalance in finance and economy, one that is mired in sustainability issues around the world, one where social justice and cultural factors are not consistent and at a high level. And that's something that you guys are faced with. We are giving you that world. And on top of that, we are asking you to actually address these problems, because ultimately you are the engineers. You are the ones that are responsible for taking that scientific knowledge and make it applied to make life better for us. Unfortunately, there are a lot of detractors that would say that, unfortunately, you, as the millennial generation, are not cut out for it. And I want to quote a couple of sources here. In Forbes magazine, here's a quote, and don't shoot the messenger. It says 68% of respondents in a workplace consulting survey said that millennials are unable to perform tasks at the same efficiency and quality as their counterparts already in the workplace. Better yet, this one's really going to grind you. Time magazine says they're lazy, they're narcissistic, and they're possibly even delusional. How does that make you feel? This is usually where you say something, guys. No, yeah, happy? Yeah, so it's not meant to make you feel good, right? And the issue is that I want you to find a way to take that negativity and make it positive. Because, again, at the risk of sounding crass, it is about hate and guilt, because you can take those initiatives and make them turn into positivity. So let me start off with guilt. Because at the end of the day, you must understand that society has invested so much into you. You have been able to, if those of you guys that were born here, you were able to have a primary school education as well as a secondary school education, all subsidized, in all likelihood, by the government in some way. Daycare was even taken care of by the government. It wasn't until possibly at maybe high school that you had a choice, but certainly at university that you had a choice as to where you would go with the future. And I want to hold off on that for a moment. But the issue is that society has invested such a great deal into you. They've not only ensured that your fundamental education at the lower levels was developed, but that they've also subsidized your tuitions here. I know that a lot of you guys are carrying that debt, probably for years on end, but the reality is that if you look at your stateside counterparts, you're actually getting a decent deal for the bang for your buck. That said, let's take a look at the money that has been given from the government to the university to help you out. Right now, you're sitting in front of a great array of faculty members, because the faculty members have been selected. You basically have the Avengers team put together here from all over. You got the best faculty members, you got the best resources, and better yet, you've got the best opportunity in this university to really take advantage of what is uniquely Ryerson, right? Because all universities try to do a lot of things that help students learn. But what I'd like to think is that Ryerson University not only ensures that you guys have great knowledge and technical skills, because that's clear, you're here, you've graduated, right? You're going to basically demonstrate that you know those skills. The second thing is that you're able to apply those skills, and fundamentally that's what engineers do, right? But the third thing is that passion, and I believe that's what I'm here to talk to you about, because I can't talk to you about technologies, but I can talk to you about that passion and motivation. And if you look at what's going on at Ryerson, you have had the ability to learn things, but also to bring those ideas to reality. Things like the digital media zone, where you can take your ideas and make it into a company, where you have catalyst funding from, say, the ESH Innovation Awards. And for those of you guys that are involved in various events like the Concrete Toboggan or even the Formula Racing, all those are initiatives that have been in place from Ryerson University so that you can become better. So now that I've made the case that the university has been supporting you and that the government has been supporting you, let's take a look at your largest supporters. Mom, Dad, if you'll indulge me for a moment, I just wish to thank you, because it's thanks to you that your students have been able to, or your children have been able to come into our classrooms and be great performers, and quite frankly, make us look good. To the mom that basically has to pick up their kid at the subway stations at God knows what hour, or to the father that has to ensure that supper is ready for their child when she comes back from studying late in the library building, thank you very much. It is on your backs that we are able to succeed. I really want to make the case that, you know what, you're at the end of your education, and I want this to be a validation to Mom and Dad that, you know what, your child had a choice to pick this place to learn and become the engineers that you see right now. And the thing is, they made the best choice. I think you should be happy with the choice that your child has made, because they are going to be, as Sheldon's indicated, they are going to be the superstars. They are going to be the innovators and the leaders of tomorrow. Because ultimately, as parents, I'm a parent as well, and I only want one thing. And maybe some of you guys graduating are parents, but you'll know, those of you guys that aren't, there's only one thing that parents want, and that's for the best for their children, that they will be better, they'll have better lives than the parents. And that's what I think parents, you guys must understand, your children are going to prove that that's the case. They have been very successful, and they will be successful. I guarantee that, and I'm pretty sure everyone at the stage and in this building will guarantee that. So coming back to the issue of guilt, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys feel in moving forward in academia or in your professions that you can't do anything, that you're demotivated, well, there's no reason why that's possible, because there are so many people that have invested in supporting you. They believe in you. Thousands of people have supported you all up until this point. So when you get debilitated, understand that it's not necessarily guilt, but it's a sense of duty that you have to move forward and continue that advancement. The second thing I want to draw your attention to is not guilt, it's hate. And I don't mean to direct this as hating people, and I don't want to be accused of fostering hate, but I want to present it as challenging. I want you to challenge status quo, as Chancellor Bloomberg said. I want you to challenge basic standards that are established, and I want you to challenge ignorance. There is no way that excellence or innovation can come about if those three things remain. And that is why you have to hate those conditions. You have to hate the fact that people in the world, well, people have given you a world that is fraught with problems. You have to hate the issue that some people, not these people, but some of these people believe that you are not going to be successful in remedying those problems, and that they've labeled you bad things. So what I want you to do is I want you to proceed and really try to prove them wrong. I want you to set new expectations. Set expectations for yourself. Set new expectations for everyone else. And in that initiative, you have to try. And I know that a lot of times you'll try and you'll fail, and that's the good thing. It is only through failure that you learn. I know a lot of millennials are accused of being lazy because they don't get projects done on time. That's not the case. I've seen a lot of you. I've taught a handful of you guys right here. And I can attest to the fact that the reason why stuff takes a little bit longer isn't because you're lazy. It's because you aim for perfection. But I think you have to learn to let that go a little bit and enjoy the failure. And better yet, when you fail, you have to learn from it. But if you fail and you are determined, don't give up. Take a friend with you. Basically, at this point in time, you have to learn how to collaborate. You've been doing that all the time, whether it's cloud computing or crowdsourcing. You guys, at no other point in history have we had this initiative to basically allow all of you guys to collaborate and basically come to some sort of resolution. So if anything, you have to learn to hate the status quo. You have to learn to challenge those ignorant issues and those already pre-existing standards that hold you back from being innovators and achieving excellence. So at the end of the day, I want you to simply recall that first day when you came onto campus. Think about that day when in first year you realized that, hey, some of these people are not going to be graduating with me, but you also realized that there were butterflies in your stomach, and you probably thought to yourself, you know what, there's a great deal of enthusiasm and excitement, but there's dread, there's some sort of anxiety that's in there, and possibly apprehension. But you were able to get through that. And that was because you had a great backup system with your faculty, with your family, and all your loved ones. But as you move forward, the faculty sure might not be there. Your loved ones might be at other parts of the world. So if anything, understand these two basic things, that there is a legacy of support that is behind you. And it is for that the duty, the sense of duty, and that sense of responsibility is incumbent on you to actually act on it. The second thing is to really get that negativity and leverage it into positive action. Be constructive, find ways to try, and if you fail, that's great, because it is only through that that you learn. Because as I said before, any good parent wants the best for their children. When I'm older and I'm in a retirement home, I can't wait to see the future that you guys will provide for me. I can't wait to have my hovercraft car. I can't wait to have a great life because of you guys. And better yet, I look forward to my children having a great life. Because all of us here, we anticipate that great future that we all have invested in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vincent Hui, for joining us today. As the first group of graduates prepares to come forward, I will take this opportunity to request that you hold your applause until each group of graduates has crossed the stage. We do, however, recognize that spontaneous outbursts of joy, enthusiasm, and relief may be forthcoming from family and friends as your special graduate crosses the stage. That's all part of the celebration. I now ask to come forward and thank in advance Charmaine Haig, Ryerson University's registrar.
Good afternoon. Will the graduands please rise? Chancellor Bloomberg, President Levy, Provost Lashmi, board members, honored guests, faculty members, staff, families, and friends of the graduands. I have the honor and pleasure to present graduands from Ryerson degree programs. Our graduands include all those who are joining us for today's ceremony, as well as those unable to attend who are graduating in absentia. I certify that each has met the academic requirements for the awards they are about to receive, and that each has been duly approved by the Senate of Ryerson University. Heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. Please be seated.